What is going on, guys? Welcome to OLED TV. In this video, we're gonna go through a bunch of tips and tricks for the Sony OLED TV. And this probably will work with almost any Sony TV. So let's get into the tips and tricks. But first, our sponsor today is Akko. It is a home device protection plan for all of your home electronics. Only $25 a month. This plan specifically doesn't include your phone, but if you need to include your phone in all your home electronics, they have the Home Plus plan for that. Now, what's great about this is, say you forgot to sign up for a protection plan when you bought the TV, it doesn't matter because you can still sign up basically at any time with Akko with new or used devices. Easy and fast same-day repairs, unlimited claims, up to $2,000 is covered per claim, protect unlimited devices, and also accidental and breakdown protection is included. So use the link down below for 1 free month and $50 credit. All right, so here is the remote, and the remote's really easy to use. You see you get all your quick buttons at the bottom here for any apps that you're into, from Bravia Core, Netflix, all that stuff. You have your settings button, play, pause. You have this button, which will allow you to feature only, it's fun when you have digital channels, which I don't have any set on here, but it brings up, it gives you information on your digital channels. Volume up and down. You have your Google Assistant button. You have your mute button, channels up and down, home button, back button, directional pad, and select. You have your input button, menu, gear, which when you press that just brings up this quick settings, which we'll go through in a minute. You have your TV button. It'll switch over to the TV, on, off. Changing the batteries in the back, just slide this thing off and put the batteries in. See, slides off like so, and it ends up taking, these are AAA batteries on here. So if you press the Google Assistant button, you can ask it questions or have it control your smart home or do something. What was the score of the Celtics game?
Last Wednesday, the Celtics played the Nets. The final score was 136-86 Celtics.
All right, so there you go. You get your Google Assistant type stuff. Like I mentioned earlier, if you hit the gear, that's going to bring up settings, which is that. If you hit your input button, this is where all your inputs are, and you have multiple inputs. I'm going to press to the left to go all the way over. And some of the things you have here are, you can set living decor themes. So this will allow you with your screensavers within the settings to choose different ones here. And I'll show those in a minute as well. But here's your inputs. Very easy to go right to your input that you have. HDMI 1 is my Apple TV that's hooked up. This one is my soundbar, which is a Sonos Beam, currently at the time of making this video. And then I have AirPlay, media server, which is going to be any devices I can see on my network to potentially play things from. So kind of could be cool if you have a computer or something hooked up to your network, and then some certain apps here. And if you press and hold on the edit button here, I can come in here and I can uncheck. So if I don't want to see certain things in here, all I got to do is just select it and just uncheck it if I don't want to see it. Otherwise, just keep it set to auto, and it'll show up only when something is connected to it. And then I can also like uncheck, like maybe I don't care about seeing living decor themes, but maybe I want to see my Apple TV. Maybe I want to see, what else do I like having here? Netflix is a good one. Just, just shortly, pull it right up so I can access it when and where I want to on here. YouTube, obviously with the YouTube. You got recent apps on there as well that I was using. I can hit close. So then the next time I go over here, I have a bunch of new apps that I can select from. So it just makes it potentially a little bit easier to access those things. When I hit the wrench on the remote, little tool button, this is where I can access the settings pretty much easier. So I've got like Bravia notifications. I can click on this and it'll tell me if there's anything that might pique my interest. It's a lot of commercial type offers, and then over to the right you can hit delete if you don't want to see those anymore. You see important notifications, feature explanations and tutorials on here, featured notifications. So it could be of interest to you, but I'll hit that little tool button again. If I want to quickly access picture settings, I can come in here And, you know, like, what do I want? I want a cinema mode or game mode, or recommended for graphics and use with computers, photo mode, custom. I can set a custom mode on here. Otherwise, I'll probably just keep it at standard. And then I can come in here and I can reset the picture settings for standard if I want. You have your ambient optimization pro. If you come in here, you can set, you know, all these different things. So if you want to control the color or I said the color, should have been the brightness or the color. All that stuff is just right smack dab with the click of a button. You don't have to go searching deep into the settings on here. There you go. I usually like in vivid. Actually, I'll keep it in vivid. Go back to the gear here. Got my max brightness set. I have low powers, and that's one of the things. I would turn off power saving mode. It's going to mess with your brightnesses on here, which if you're fine, do it, but otherwise turn that thing off. Light sensor too, it affects the way the colors look. I like it just to always be the same, but if you want it to automatically adjust the look of the TV based off how much light is coming into the room, turn it on. Your sound settings, your sound mode, standard or dialogue or cinema, you can, you know, depending upon what you got hooked up there. Audio output, usually I have my audio system selected on there so I can easily get the best sound. Your network, if you're connecting something Bluetooth, your Eco dashboard, which I always turn that stuff off. It just makes stuff look not as good. It's better for your electricity bill and stuff, but it's not my thing. So I always turn that off. Parental controls, I should say. So you can set up parental controls allowing you to set restrictions on usage of channels and things like that, and put a pin or change the pin. Okay, so let's get into, so right at the top, you can see for you, this is going to be all the stuff that's potentially for you, any channels or movies it thinks you would like or things that you would like to watch. It will show up on here. Then you have up top, you have your live television, which it's going to be on anything live that you have connected, any live channels that are, or apps that you have connected to this whole thing that you can really just click on real quickly and watch. Any apps that you might want to download, including your apps, and you have app categories. You can search for new apps right here. So there's tons of stuff, and if you want to download an app, all you do is click on it. Once it loads up, just hit install, and you can actually go hit the back button and go to your next thing. You can even play some games on here, like Crossy Road on here. You'll be able to play it on here if you want, and you just play it with the remote. You just press up and down, left, right on the remote. You can even connect a Bluetooth controller if you wanted to. Then you have your library, which is going to be any movies and TV shows that you've purchased. And then you've got this Sony tab, which you can see, this is my brother's latest updates and promotions from Sony. So you've got all kinds of Sony eccentric movies and things. If you wanted to watch one of these, you just click on it and you will have to, I'm assuming this isn't free, maybe it is. You have to create an account and stuff. But you can get up to, you can see, get 5 movies to redeem, or 12 months access to Bravia Core's streaming package of 100 movies. So potentially some cool stuff in here for you. You got your you can sign up for a protection plan, it looks like, if you want. I don't know if you can do it right from the TV. Let's see. Continue. Bonus offers. You got 30 days of Crunchyroll, Bravia Core. I guess you can't sign up. Maybe you can. I don't know. But yeah, kind of cool. There it is. There's the extension protection plan if you're concerned with that. Yeah, you'll have to go to the website. But they do have that Sony tab on there. This is going to be where you can search for anything. You can see search movies, shows, apps, and more. You control your smart home all with a click of the button on the remote, or just come right here and do the same thing. So if you're like, you know what, I want to search. You want to search for something, you could just hold the remote and be like, we'll do Kevin Costner movies. Kevin Costner movies. And it should bring up any and all Kevin Costner movies and TV shows, and you can just find it right here. It'll even search within the apps. So if you're not sure exactly, you know it's Kevin Costner, or you know it's a show, it'll search for that show, and it'll show it on any apps and things that you have it installed on, and where you can watch it or buy it and all that stuff. At the top left, you can see my name here, and you can add an account. So you can have multiple accounts on here and switch between the accounts all right there. So if I had 2 accounts, I would just click on the profile picture in the top left and choose the account that I want. We're going to go into settings. This is where you can click on screensaver and you can view your screensaver. I have it set to my Google Photos, I believe. Maybe I don't. I thought I did. I guess I don't. But you can set it. I'll show you where you can change it, but that's where you can view it. And you can change your inputs. If you don't want to click it on the remote, you can change your Wi-Fi. You've got your picture mode here, accessibility, notifications. You can also click on this and change your profile if you want. So there's multiple places to do multiple things. I'm going to go back into settings and channels and inputs. If you have a cable TV or like an antenna, TV antenna, is where you can set up to do all that and search for the channels on for your TV. You got preferences, info banner, external inputs, TV button shortcut. So select what will launch when the TV button is pressed. So you can, instead of just having to go to TV, I can have it go to one of these other things. Like maybe I want it to go to my Apple TV. So if I pressed the TV button on this remote, it would go straight to my Apple TV. So that's kind of cool. Display and sound. This is where you can adjust your picture settings, kind of like what I showed you just a moment ago. You can go into screen and change the aspect ratio if you need to or want to, display areas, screen positioning. Sound, adjust to experience the spatial effects sounds. So if you liked your sound mode to sound different, you can change that all right here. You can customize your sound. Here's your volume levels, adjust the volume level. Audio output, which I showed you a little bit earlier. You can change it here if you want, from the audio system to the TV speakers. And you also have different, this is eARC mode. So select auto to output high quality sound from audio devices supporting eARC. Yeah, so this should actually be eARC. Change to auto, I'm gonna hit OK. Digital audio out. Oops. Brought me back all into here. So let me hit that gear on the remote. It should bring us right here and let us select it again. So we went through display and sound. We've got the internet, so you can connect to different Wi-Fi networks or turn your Wi-Fi off. This is where you can sign into different accounts or add a kid's account. They get the privacy mode, so if you want to come in here and turn off scanning always available or turn off usage and diagnostics. All that stuff is within here. If you're going to look to install apps that aren't in the store, you come into where it says security and restrictions, unknown sources, and just allow it for the app that you're trying to do it for. If it's trying to ask you to install an app that's not in the store. Here's where you can see apps if you need to close an app because you're having an issue with it. This is where you go. You go to settings, apps, and then you choose the app. Let's just say, we're going to look at all our apps. So let's just say the app is Hulu. We'll click on Hulu and you can open it here. You can force stop it and that'll stop the app. You can also uninstall it right here. You can see how much storage it's using. So you can turn off notifications for the app. So a lot of cool stuff within there to uninstall or do any of that kind of stuff. System. Now, if you go into accessibility, there's stuff in here. I almost never go in here, but if you need text magnification or a screen reader, you can turn all that stuff on right there. About is an important one. So you can go in here, you can check for software updates, but mine's gonna automatically check, but I can search for updates here manually. You can see it's up to date. I can go and change the name of this TV just by clicking here, and I can hit change and it'll change it to something else. I can reset the TV to factory settings, say I'm selling it or giving it away. I can do that from here. I can check the status. I can go to my legal information. Here's the model of the TV, what TV software it's running. When's the last update it got for security. Here's the date and time. I can automatically set it or use a 24-hour format. You can have the clock display if you want always or on every hour. It's up to you. If you need to change your language, there's a bunch of languages that you can choose from. You can set up a keyboard if you want to download a different keyboard. This is how much storage you have. So come in here, you can delete pre-installed demo content if you don't need it. It allows you to do, there's none installed, so I don't need it. But this is all the storage. I have 2.9 gigs of apps, and I think I have what? Storage space of 20. This is your ambient mode. This is what I was talking about earlier. I have it set to Google Photos, and I can start it. Let's see if it starts up now. It's giving me, okay, there you go. So I have my pictures of Google on here. That allows me to see some cool stuff on here. But if I want, I can also come down here, go to Art Gallery, and it has all these, artistic photos that I can show off, and I can start that now. And just to show, oh, there you go. It's going to take, artistics, art and culture type things to show on the screen. You can try out new sources. I don't think I've really messed with this too much on the ambient mode. Let's see. Yes, I guess that's a low bandwidth mode, but I'm going to switch it back to Google Photos. I like that. I'm going to show, I like showing the weather. Oh no, it doesn't show the weather. I want to see the weather. I want to see the weather. Show the time. You can show personal photo data, portrait photos, slideshow speed. There's a lot of control in here. Power and energy. So go on to power on behavior. And I like to do this. So basically, it's usually like, what's the last thing you use? It's probably want to be the last used input. So if you're playing video games a lot, or you're using a different device like an Apple TV or a Roku or an Android TV, and you don't want to go to the Google TV screen, choose last input. It's always going to power on to that. You've also got energy saver. Turn TV off after, you can choose it, in case you forgot to turn your TV off. I do 4 hours. Allow this TV to turn off while watching. I turn that off. Auto power saving mode, you can turn this on, but I keep it off, but you can turn it on if you want. You got different power saving modes, which again, I keep off. No signal power. If TV automatically turns off, if no signal is detected for 15 minutes, I would turn that on. You got your eco dashboard, which we spoke about earlier. I don't really use it, but if you want to, it just, I feel like it disables the true power of this television. And I don't mean that in the amount of consumption. I mean like the actual brightness and quality of everything. It's just, not my favorite. If you're going to cast something, you can let others control your cast media. You can either have that always or while casting or never. This is how you restart the TV if you don't want to pull the plug out at the bottom of the television. That's where you control it. Parental controls, which I mentioned earlier. You have if you have a camera, which I don't, you can do gesture control on there. You can set your region, so if you live in a different place. Built-in mic sensitivity, you can have it at high, medium, or low. The microphone's at the bottom in the middle of the television. If you don't like to see the LED indicator, you can turn all that stuff, all those LED indicator lights off. It won't turn the feature off, it'll just turn off the light so you don't see them on the television. You can turn off system sounds, which I do, so you don't have the clicking noises. This is where you can have your Apple AirPlay and HomeKit settings. I have it on, or you can do a require code. You can use a password or every time or just the first time. Subtitles, captioning, all that stuff on there. I'll be honest, I haven't used the Samba interactive TV. Picture adjustments, you can lock them or unlock them. Initial setup, you can go through that again. You can also set this to retail mode settings, which I don't know why you'd want to do that. If you have a new remote or an accessory, this is where you can add it, turn Bluetooth on, pair the accessory, and it'll look for any Bluetooth accessories to add on, including controls and things like that. Your remote even gets software updates, so you can come in here and it'll check for any updates that your remote might have. For bugs and things like that. Now I wanted to go back to the home screen here. So if you're looking at your apps and like, say there's one here like Tubi. If you don't want that, press and hold on it with the select button on your remote, this middle button here, and you can move it. Well, say you just want to move it first. We'll move it. You're like, you know what? I don't really want to see it all the way over here. And then press select and then hit back to finish. If you want to, you can also open it, or you can hit view details, and you can uninstall it or you can update it. So that's an easy way to get rid of apps without having to go into settings and then apps. You can also hit see all and see even more apps that you might want on here. And if you want to bring one of these apps up, like say for instance, I want Peacock, hold select again on your remote, hit move, and then just move it up where you want it. Maybe I want it to be right here. And then when you're done, hit back and you're done. If you're having trouble with your television because it's just giving you issues, pull this power cable out and then wait like 5-10 seconds and then plug it back in. It's always a good thing though, if you're having trouble with your TV, pull the plug out, wait 5 seconds, plug it back in, and hopefully it should be okay at that point. Here's where all your ports are. You got USB, you have Ethernet, you have, I believe it's audio out or headphone jack. You have a bunch of HDMIs. Only 2 of them are 4K 120. One of those being the eARC port. Kind of weird. I don't know why they did that, but they did do that. So just keep that in mind if you do that. The other thing is on the bottom of the TV in the middle, that's where you have a bunch of, you actually have controls. You can control this TV. There's a switch to mute the microphone. You have buttons to control the television. You can see I pressed it right there and I can power it off or just manually with the remote, with the buttons at the bottom here. There you guys go. Hopefully that video was helpful for you. Don't forget to subscribe and we'll see you down the road. Peace.